Next one. So racing. How can you best train to be able to learn how hard you can push yourself in a race? So I think a lot of people struggle with finding out how hard they can push themselves in the race, and they end up blowing up.
Yes.
So how can you train so that on race day you can actually push yourself just hard enough that you get the best performance out of your body?
Definitely to be able to race to your ability to be able to actually race. I mean, obviously when you race, it's all about racing, getting the most out of your body, racing as hard as you can for the duration of the race, whether that be Olympic distance, half Ironman or Ironman. And often I will see people do these amazing training sessions and you'll think, wow, they're going to go really well. Comes to race day, they actually race slower than a lot of their training sessions. You need to make sure that within your training program you have specific race sessions so that you're spending a good chunk of time in that bike ride or in that run where you are at race pace. And I'm not talking about 5 minutes worth. I'm talking about going out for a ride and actually having, for example, if it's a 3-hour ride, having a good hour to an hour 15 of that ride at race pace. Not on and off and when it suits you, or it's got to be an hour 15, hour 30 where you are at actual race pace down in the aero bars. Visualize if you have to that you are actually in a race. We'll do it often. And then obviously with run sessions as well, it's the same. I would even go as far to say, and I see some of the guys, Luke McKenzie's a great example here, he'll do a brick session where he'll actually do swim, bike, run. And he'll go into a swim session where he'll just basically do a time trial. So it might only be 1K, but it's a 1K straight out time trial, straight onto the bike. We often forget to do this. We do a lot of bike run sessions, we barely do swim bike. So he'll do a K and then he'll get on the bike, he'll do a section of that bike where it's at race pace, then he'll back it off, and then he'll go and do a 5 to 8K run where there'll be a section of that run that's at race pace. You don't want to do it too much because you don't want to get to the end and think and be exhausted, but you need to definitely have key sessions and not just one. There needs to be quite a few of these put in the right places within your training program where you're doing, so that when it comes to race day, you know what's expected, you know how you're supposed to feel, and you've got the fitness. And when I say fitness, I'm talking about the race fitness to actually be able to race over that distance. Funny story, I did the 6K fun run last weekend. One of the guys, I won't name him, he's in Macarex, so I won't name who it is. And I said, you know, it's 6K. Now 6K is nothing, okay, but it's still 6K. This guy took off in this run like it was a 100-metre sprint race. And I've never seen anyone like it. And this person's not young, he should know better. And he still ended up coming in before me, but I mean, he was miles ahead of me at about 3K in, and by the end he was literally less than a minute. And I just think, you know, what was he thinking when the gun went off? And the fact of the matter is he wasn't thinking. So I think depending on the distance of the race, you have to think, okay, this race, it's Olympic distance. It's realistically going to take me 3 hours. 3 hours is still an endurance event. You still need to pace yourself. It's not about going all out in the first, 500 metres. It's about pacing yourself and trying to maintain that speed over the duration. And that's not easy, and it's something you definitely need to do in training.